Today's reading from God's Work in Our Lives is called The Comfort Was God's. You may need some Kleenex. I just had a chance to peruse this and read it, and boy, this is a doozy. On Christmas Day, my husband Dick and I were the first on the scene of an accident. 2 cars smashed in a head-on collision. As a registered nurse, I'd hoped I could help, but it was too late. Dick and I prayed with a teenage boy who was pinned against his car seat. We watched him die before the ambulance arrived. In the days that followed, I managed to locate the boy's parents through the phone book. I spoke to his parents and described what had happened. Through their tears, they expressed gratitude. They had known little of the circumstances of his death and were comforted to know that their son had died while God was close through prayer. 3 months later, on the Saturday before Easter, Dick and I had held hands and prayed together at the kitchen table before he left to go to a men's breakfast. Not long after came a telephone call from the hospital. Dick had had a heart attack. I rushed to his bedside, but arrived too late to say goodbye. I was numb. On the way home, I was overwhelmed with grief. I could barely enter the house. I walked into the kitchen where only hours before we had sat next to each other, reading, talking, and praying. There on the table was a basket full of fresh spring flowers, a sign of new birth, a symbol of the resurrection. I looked at the card to see who could have unknowingly anticipated my needs so beautifully. The gift had come from the parents of the boy who died at Christmas. The comfort was God's. The story is from Doris Kerr, and it echoes something that me and my friend Al keep saying. We don't know how long we have, and you think it would make people kinder, more forgiving. Have a great day. This story reminds me of my dad and how quick he died, and I've lost many people. And we just had the biggest world scare just 5 years ago. And as you look out upon the landscape, you observe it really hasn't grown humanity into any more compassionate state. And they can repeat the slogan, "We are one," all they want. We'll win them by slogans. But it's not true. Not for most, it would seem.